a really beautiful discussion that happened after Kundalini yoga with a friend, where we get into these really cool discussions around Tantra and the masculine, feminine, and, you know, bridging the gaps between the masculine and feminine. And first wanted to call out, there's a Facebook channel called Forging Mind, and it has really cool sacred geometry that's moving, active sacred geometry. And it's fascinating because sacred geometry, and then it's coupled with, music, which adds vibration to it as well. And apparently, this is something I haven't practiced actively so much yet, but in being called to do so, it's showing up in what would help me evolve this year. And so he turned me on to this Forging Mind Facebook channel, where if you just watch it, it has kind of this calming effect. It's very beautiful, the colors, and then of course the sacred geometry all means something. Each sacred geometry pattern, or mandala as they call it, has a certain effect on the brain and on our energetics that help us raise our vibration and remind us of truth. And so, like, there's the flower of life and these other Metatron's cube, and different names for the different sacred geometries that are well known. And it's something that he was describing to me, that when he views it and watches it for a certain amount of time, like as kind of like a meditation, it could be like a 5-minute thing, a 15-minute thing, but he says that it does something with his energy that allows him to, like, calibrate anything, any way that he might be feeling scattered or ungrounded. It seems to kind of help him center and ground and get calm, and that all the parts of himself feel like they're just all working in synchronicity, because that's often what a moving mandala will do, or a sacred geometry, um, is that you'll see all the different parts and how they all work together and are moving together in unison. And it reminds us, of that, I guess, that Christ consciousness, unification, unity consciousness, of how, the dark and the light, the shadow and the light work together, and that we're all like one big moving organism that's connected and working together. So that's probably the best way I can explain it at this point in time. I'm looking forward to trying it, especially when doing like a solo journey and being able to really go deep into it, because it does have a way of imprinting. Um, I know, like, as a reference, I know that Jesus and the disciples they had a practice where they would imprint with their consciousness sacred geometry onto the waters, because it changed the water, which we know from Dr. Emoto that water will kind of like change its molecular structure based on the energy that is being infused into it. So if you say happy, and you have a glass that has the word happy written on it, and if you have intention for it to be happy water, that's what it can reconfigures itself molecularly to be the vibration of happy. And then you can drink that water and it will have a happy effect on you. So that's sacred geometry. That's kind of part of it, because the actual molecules of the water look like sacred geometry. So when they change shape, they change into a different sacred geometry. And so anyway, these are all like quantum physics things that you could use that seem kind of out there or woo woo, but it is quantum physics and it works. And sometimes things that are weird are actually what works. We have to just get used to it, I think. And so anyway, I invite you to try it. I'm going to try it and see how that new practice, it feels like it would be very calming, because I have to say these images were gorgeous. And they kind of are mesmerizing, where you could just watch it, kind of like the same way you just watch like an open flame or a fire, around a fire pit. You just kind of get enamored by watching it. It's kind of like that. Has a positive effect on the body.